We start by importing NumPy as NP, and then we print the NumPy version that we are using. We are using version 1.13.3. Next, we import MXNet as MX, and then we print the MX version that we are using. We're using MXNet version 0.12.1. First, we're going to create a NumPy example integer array using the NumPy.array functionality. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, and the data type that we are using is NumPy.int32. We can look at the shape of this example variable, and we see that it is 2 by 3 by 4. Next, we check the data type of the NumPy _int_array and see that it is int32. And finally, we can print it, and we see that it is in fact a 2 by 3 by 4 tensor, or 2 by 3 by 4 multidimensional array. To convert this NumPy multidimensional array to an MXNet NDArray, we're going to use the MX.ND.array functionality and pass in our NumPy _x_int_array, and then we assign that to the MX_x_int_array Python variable. Once we have this, we can check the shape, and we see that it is in fact 2 by 3 by 4, which is what we would expect. Next, we can check the data type and see that it is NumPy.float32. And finally, we can print the converted array, and we see that it is an MXNet NDArray that is 2 by 3 by 4, and the context is currently my CPU. The second example that we're going to do is we're going to do a floating NumPy multidimensional array. We use the np.array functionality again. This time there is a decimal point in front of all the numbers, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, so on and so forth. And we're going to assign that to the Python variable NumPy _x_float_array. We can check the shape of this multidimensional array, and we see that it is 2 by 3 by 4. Next, we can check the data type and see that it is float32, which is what we would expect given we defined it as np.float32. And then we can print this multidimensional array. And because it is a floating point number, we see 0.1, 0.2, 0.30000001. So we see that they are all floating numbers for this multidimensional array. Then, to convert this NumPy multidimensional array to an MXNet NDArray, we use the MX.ND.array functionality and pass in our NumPy _x_float_array and assign it to the Python variable MX_x_float_array. We can check the shape of this NDArray, and we see that it is 2 by 3 by 4, which is what we expect. Next, we can check the data type of our converted array and see that it is a NumPy.float32 data type. And lastly, we can print this converted NumPy multidimensional array, and we see that it is an MXNet NDArray that is 2 by 3 by 4. The context is the CPU, and if we compare the numbers in the tensor, we see 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, a bunch of zeros and then a 1. We see 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, bunch of zeros and then a 1. So this is the way we convert a NumPy multidimensional array to an MXNet NDArray using the MX.ND.array functionality.